Affordances are perhaps the most complex or abstract design principle we use. Often people say an affordance is what the properties of something allow us to do. It's not what kind of groceries we can afford at Publix. It's different from that. Another way of describing an affordance is as a relationship between three things. It's between the user, the environment, and the design object. So, for instance, a window affords seeing, but only in certain environments, in given certain users, in given certain material properties of the window itself. So if we're talking about a clear glass window, right, properties of that allow light to go through. And if we're talking about a daylight environment, and we're talking about a user with functioning eyes, all three of those things combine to allow the person to see essentially through a wall, due to a window, to the outside environment. If we take away some of those things, the affordance is no longer present in the system. If it's dark out, if the environment changes, the window no longer affords seeing through the wall. If the user is blind, the window again no longer affords seeing through the wall because the user's abilities have changed. So we can think about other common systems, and some of these are partially learned. Right? If we see a big red button that affords pushing, it invites pushing. A large, overstuffed, comfy chair invites or affords sitting. A knob, a big knob, right, invites turning. You want to turn it. It's an affordance of a knob is turning. One of the interesting things about affordances is that they're quite different between graphical user interfaces and tangible user interfaces. Tangible user interfaces have an advantage of being able to use these material properties in very felt ways to elicit user action, whereas graphical user interfaces have to replicate or fake elements to provide affordances, and they're more programmed into the system rather than built. So in thinking about GUIs versus TUIs, a actual knob affords turning. It's great. A virtual knob is terrible. Have you ever tried turning a virtual knob? How do you do that with a mouse? Can you push and twist on it? No, because you can't. The computer doesn't recognize this gesture, right, with your finger on a touchpad or with a mouse. So you usually have to click on the knob and then drag up and down or left and right to turn the knob. Why not just use the slider? It's very strange. It's not intuitive, and I think it's poor design. Another way to see affordances in action on doors. A large metal push plate on a door, right? Just a flat metal plate indicates that to get through that door you need to push it open, right? Whereas a big vertical handle says this is something you need to reach out and grab and pull towards you to open. And you can always tell when the door has been designed incorrectly, and you've got people trying to pull on a handle that they're supposed to push to open. That's also poor design. Here's an interesting video of an interactive swing set that not only affords swinging, but then plays music as well.